Am I the problem? I am 5 feet 5 and 120 pounds. My husband is 5 feet 7 and 175 pounds. I am starting to resent him for something he said 2 years ago. During COVID I gained about 20 pounds and so did he from where we currently are. He told me that I was getting to the point where he wasn't sure he would still be attracted to me if I gained any more, and I agreed and told him the same. I have been super into fitness and health my entire life as a competitive cheerleader, and it was truly COVID depression. So I never thought I would have trouble getting back down, but his comment checked myself and got I back down to my normal and maintained it ever since. He stayed heavy and I can't fight this feeling like he gets what he wants physically and I don't. Especially when he's the one who the comment first, it's not fair emo. He is a resident physician, so he says he gets a pass, which makes me feel like he wants me as a trophy wife, but he's not rich or anything and I am successful myself and I am not nor ever will be a trophy wife. We are a team. I don't get why a fat guy gets to tell me that kind of thing and then not get fit himself. I don't know, am I the problem for staying with him? He is a resident physician, so he says he gets a pass. Gets a pass for what? Disregarding his partner's feelings? Having respect for his partner? Being a fucking dumpster truck fire of a human? No. No pass. What's stopping you from telling him to lose the weight? Marrying a doctor and not even having the money to show for it is some shit. He better be in shape lol. He doesn't get a pass because he's a resident. In fact, him being out of shape is even more frowned upon because he is a medical provider and should be an inspiration to his patients. I find people who say crap like this to their partner are vain idiots. We all get old, we all get ugly, we all gain weight eventually. We do stay young and beautiful forever. We can get sick and lose our hair, get terrible skin conditions, so many things can happen. But if you love them, none of that matters. You don't forget the love you had for them, it just grows stronger. I love my husband with his dad bod more now than I did with his six-pack. I find it so sad that people can be this shallow to someone they said they would love and cherish forever. Unless you gain 25 pounds. Then ew. Face with rolling eyes. You're not the problem. If that's what you need in a partner, that's fine, and if he's not willing to work for that, find someone who is. It will be his loss. 5 feet 5 and 120, you are literally good. I'm shy of 5 feet 3 and practically weight the same as you. He is being judgmental and should not get a pass because he's a little resident. My ex messaged me after 3 years with an apology. I feel conflicted on how to handle it. This person was very emotionally and psychologically abusive. He cheated and ghosted me, all while playing the victim to the woman he left for, who later dumped him. 3 years later he starts requesting me on every social media outlet, from different accounts, telling me it's him and that he needs to talk to me about something important. I would block one, he would create another one and message me on there. I accepted his message request to see what he wanted, and it was a long apology basically describing how his ex dumped him and how badly he felt afterwards, followed by thinking karma was getting him for his actions and how he remembered how badly he treated me. He continued on saying I was one of the kindest people he's met, that he thanked me for being in his life and for my kindness towards him. That he was sorry for everything he put me through and that he couldn't sleep thinking of what had happened. That he has nightmares about it and feels horrible. He said he didn't expect me to accept his apology or to respond. At first I felt a mixture of emotions including pity, sadness, resentment, then just pure anger. I didn't reply and just blocked him, but now I am left with this anger and want to tell him off. Tell him he is manipulative and that this apology was for him only to lift the weight off his conscience, and how forcing himself back into my life by crossing my boundaries, essentially stalking me on the internet so that he could speak about his breakup and how badly he feels for how he treated me, is just selfish and narcissistic, and that I don't accept his apology. It's been 3 years full of therapy, pain and self-work to heal from that. I want to get this anger off my chest, then tell him to F off and never talk to me again. But I also don't want to give him any type of control over me again or satisfaction. Any perspective is welcome. He's sleeping fine. Scream. Scream it out, into a pillow if audibly necessary. He just wants you to play the game again. Then you say no thank you or just block him cold. The only thing you need to say if ever contacted again is no thank you. He's bad news, step over this. Don't threaten the progress you've made over the last 3 years. He's likely apologizing for his own gain, not yours. And if you say he was emotionally and psychologically abusive, you have to give at least some consideration that this attempt to apologize is some attempt to continue his abuse. In fact, You already have evidence this is what's happening, considering after blocking him he kept pushing to connect with you and send you that message. This is what happens when you let them back into your life, even for a second. Learn from it and just walk away. Deny him any kind of interaction. In your position, I would message back that you're not interested and to not contact you again, and that if he continues to do so you will escalate. Then block and move on, as you said. Don't waste any more time on him. Keep blocking him. Okay, you vented. Now just block him and move on. Any contact you maintain, even to tell him to fuck off, gives him a measure of control. Is this financial abuse? 24, F. With a 9-year relationship and a 3-month-old son, I have been struggling with my relationship. My partner, 27, M. has a yearly income of around $55,000 and me $19,000. I have been questioning my relationship lately as I feel like a stay-at-home slave most days as I cannot go back to work yet due to surgery booked mid-August and having a 3-month-old. I have no income. My partner has the only income at the moment. I was scheduled to go back to work on the 15th of August but cannot now till October. I studied an online course in 2021 then got pregnant. I was excited to start my career. We have been fighting mainly about money. He has an app on his phone that he adds groceries, rent, baby formula and lent money, pretty much tracking the burden of expenses of me. Unamused, and the list goes up and he is very set on that's his money and I need to pay it back. I'm not a girl that's wants everything dropped at my feet. I know I need to go earn my own income, not for myself but for our family. Mental health plays a big part in this, but my partner refuses a mental health support plan. My problem is him having this list is it constantly reminds him of me being in debt to him and how much money he's lost. This list he has of all my owing is at $8,000 over 9 years. I have always worked, always paid my half of the rent, food, supplies, and now I find it quite ridiculous while having a 3-month-old baby and being a family. Is this a relationship or slavery? And the list goes up and he is very set on that's his money and I need to pay it back. Then maybe he needs to be paying you a reasonable rate for childcare. This does sound like financial abuse, and frankly he sounds like a real asshole. He thinks you need to pay him back for baby formula? If my wife costs me $8,000 over the next 9 years, I'll firstly never tell her how cheap she is to keep, lest it cause an increase. Secondly, count my blessings that for the childcare, cooking, cleaning, emotional support, companionship and frankly excellent head, has cost me less than a fucking gym membership. Ditch him. Leave and put him on child support. I promise that will be more than the lent money. Fuck him. And yes, this financial abuse 101. He is a piece of shit even if he does not know it. Also charge him for 50% of any time missed from work as a mother. Even the time due to pregnancy. He owes you 50% of that period according to his logic. If he is not doing 50% of the parenting, also figure that in at a typical nanny pay. If he only does 40%, make sure you charge him for the offset 20% of that time. Repeat this for a maid service. If he isn't doing 50% of the cooking and cleaning, start handing him a bill. Flip the table, wait for him to lose his mind because he lost the power. While he is going berserk, just leave. Yes, this is abusive. You don't owe him anything. As someone else has already mentioned, why don't you give him a bill for pregnancy and childcare? What a horrible partner you have. This isn't a relationship, it's financial and emotional abuse. Unless it's not his baby, he should be paying a minimum of 50% of the baby's needs: diapers, formula, clothing, healthcare, housing, etc. You should contact your local domestic violence agency and see what assistance they offer. They should be able to help you apply for housing assistance, food stamps, WIC, Medicaid, and TANF so you can survive on your own with the baby. Not sure what your medical issues are, but if they lead to any type of disability, vocational rehabilitation might be available to help you get back on your feet and find work. You and your baby deserve better than this, op. Do it for the baby if you don't feel like you can do it for yourself. Yes, it is financial abuse. Break up with him and file for child support. Do you have friends or family that can take you in while you get back on your feet? I, 18 female, am unsure if I am attracted to my S.O. anymore due to their gender. Think I've gotten the most out of this post that I can. Thank you to those of you who took the time to read and advise me and educate me. I've removed all details as I feel it's becoming a breeding ground for hate and gender invalidation, but there are some replies I'd like to refer to when talking with my partner. Hoping no one new sees this, to be honest, but yeah. Would you tell a gay person to work on themselves so that they could love someone of the opposite gender and be happy in a straight relationship? Of course not, because that's not how that works. Just like how a gay person can't change who they're attracted to, a straight person can't either. Plus, it is actually pretty validating to use significant other in a strange way. They correct their gender, therefore your attraction changes. If you could be straight and love them like usual, what would that say about your perception of their gender? It's great that you want to be so open as possible. That said, attraction is not just a social construct but also a natural ingrained instinct. You can change what you are, but only so much without tragic events. Bad news, you do sound str8. So it is probably over. Good news, if your partner is a decent person, perhaps you just gained a new best friend. Good luck though to both of you. If you subtract gender from this question and just said, I am no longer feeling attracted to my partner, would you have more understanding of why you need to end things? Of course you need to respect everyone's gender identity, but you are not obligated to date anyone. Try and find a kind way to end things and do so. No, you are not being phobic. Attraction, like anything else, is a part of you. Nothing wrong with being attracted to men. Your partner no longer presents or identifies as a man and you are no longer attracted. And #X200B. It is not anybody's fault, and this is not something you can work your way through any more than a gay conversion camp can make someone straight. You say your partner just came out recently, and that you don't know how you feel about them yet. That's okay. It doesn't make you straight if you feel weird about their transition at first. You were used to loving them a certain way because of how you perceived them, so it's absolutely natural to take some time to adjust. If in 2 or 3 months you feel certain that you're not attracted to them, or that you can't adjust to their post-transition self, then it might be time to reconsider the relationship. But you don't have to immediately be ecstatic about this. Do you have a friend you can talk to about this safely? Someone who will understand at least some of the nuances of dating a trans person. Talk to them. And the word you're looking for, I believe, is transphobic. Even though your partner doesn't say they're trans, transphobia applies. And you are not transphobic for having a gender preference. That is your sexuality and it isn't offensive or bigoted in any way. You would be transphobic if you denied your so's identity. But you aren't, you are understanding. Honestly not sure what you should do. I haven't been in a situation like this. You're really young and both of you are gonna change so much in these next few years. Just talk to them and be honest with your feelings. You may come to conclusions that ending the relationship to think about your respective selves and identities may be beneficial for both of you.